Right here, we're seeing a lot of acidosis, or you could use the word inflammation if you want, lymph stagnation. That all is meaning the same thing. That's what's happening in this poor woman here. So you would have to look at her female menses to see if she's on time every time, to see if there is a pituitary problem, because if she has irregular menses, you immediately can go to the pituitary and know. Now, when you know iridology, there's where you get to see that answer to that. You get to see whether there's a pituitary problem, how much bowels are involved in that, and of course you get to see all the cells of the body. I can't believe that it was in medical hands. You know, a Hungarian physician discovered that, been in medical hands quite a bit through the years, and yet they just kind of discarded it. They like the toxic I'm going to hurt you machines. Hello there. My sediment is moving good. My rash on my legs are going away, and 50% of my hair is gray. Well, you start getting that gray out of there. Use upper circulation, the brain and nerve. Definitely use upper circulation, I would, because you're thinning of the hair, all this stuff that's going on here. Keep in mind that's a blood flow, and you're really looking for lymph flow. But good blood flow is always good, and lymph flow can definitely affect blood flow. We've talked about that before. So her rash is going away on her legs, meaning that your kidneys are filtering. You see the sediment in your urine. See how that is? You see the sediment in your urine, and your rash in your legs are going away. Perfect. I get that upper circ, that gray hair will disappear. My son is on Detox 5 and 6. You'd think I'd take my upper circ, wouldn't you? Oh, God. And he is 10 years old. Oh, she's got a son 10 years old. Get that, and his son is on Detox 5 and 6. No moving sediments for him. Well, remember, he was born 50% deaf, and half of his body is 3 inches smaller than the other. So we are dealing in pituitary here. And so this is an issue. You want to get to the pituitary of your boy there and start working on his pituitary gland and let his body start balancing out on both sides. It just shows you how bilateral. We got 2 separate sides of our body controlled separately. You have 2 thyroids, 2 adrenal glands, 2 kidneys, 2 legs, 2 breasts, 2 arms. You just, 2 lungs. It just goes on and on and on to show you the bilateralness of the human body. 2 different blood pressures, 2 different blood sugars, 2 different basal temperatures. Physicians don't think about that, but it's just that it's just indicators to show you which side is weaker than the other. Not that you can correct one side over another, because the body works as a unit. So interesting stuff, though, to keep in there. I'd like to see you get your son's hearing. I tell you, this would be quite interesting. A lot going on up here in the head with mom, and a lot going on in the head with the son. So I would really, if it was me, I would get him upper circuit, brain, and nerve, and let that kid live on that. And at the same time, fix his kidneys and adrenals, because that's going to be a real key part to this problem. And then go after his pituitary gland, and his body could then balance out in those inches. And he will grow. Balancing out the pituitary, your body will balance out. We have a lot of excessively short people from pituitary weakness. Once we get them on the pituitary, their growth starts catching up and everything is good again. So it's neat to see what you can do to help the body become more homeostatic, if you will, if you could use that word maybe, I don't know. He is frustrated in school. After he started taking herbs, he began to improve in school. Isn't that pretty cool? I've seen kids, let me tell you something, I've seen kids just literally piss off the teacher, because they sit there and when a teacher makes a statement, then all the connecting links can take place if someone's looking at it and the teacher has no clue, because she's lost or he's lost in the mental focus of that concept. And yet those that are more spiritual can look outside of those concepts and put it more into the puzzle of life. And it does make some teachers aggravated, so they should go on raw themselves and take some herbs so they can out-teach the kids, because they're going to come out-teach the teachers. I have to laugh at that. But he gets mad easy, and he also has scoliosis. Okay, so right here, big issue here. Not only would I, if it was me, I'd go after his pituitary, I'd go after his parathyroid gland. Same thing, mama's coming down to son there, and you've got to get all his glands back, and I would definitely hit that parathyroid gland with a parathyroid. This is where the value of glandulars are going to come in here, is helping poor individuals like this, and getting that parathyroid up, pituitary up, and then the body, as he grows, that back will pull straight again. His balance and growth will balance out. Everything will take place. He's had tons of x-rays. And you know what? What's amazing to me is these guys will keep going. And the answers are right there in their friggin' face. You don't have to do. Did I do any type of scan to find out what his problem was? It was obvious. This is very simplistic and obvious. And if a medical doctor can't look at this and tell you what I just did, I don't know what he's doing with the word doc on the front of his name. It's just amazing to me. So now I feel the kid full of radiation. Now the kid's balance is off because you're right back here in the cerebellum here. I mean, you're going to fry his brain. You're going to end up with brain cancer before you can straighten the kid out. That's coming back here to the cerebellum. The balance is off. So I can tell you, you got to fix the kidneys and adrenals. Even though we're talking up here in the glands, you got the adrenals and the kidneys to deal with this young man. And with yourself, Mom. This year that he took the herbs, he did not go completely deaf, and his ears and nose did not bleed, and his lungs were not congested. Sincerely, L-U-Z. Well, all I can tell you is that tells me that you can get this boy back to a state of health, hearing and everything. That's what you told me here tells me, that this is a good case. You can get this child back to a state of wellness. You can get his hearing back. You definitely want to get the parathyroid to strengthen up capillary integrity so he doesn't bleed. This is a good case, an easy case to understand. The child's going to have to control his diet for a lot of years and correct all this. You could correct this, though, within a year to two, easy. I would say within a year, at 10 years old, on the proper diet and everything else, you get everything moving, you'll probably get this child restored. Pretty cool stuff, but that's what we're facing. And unfortunately, medical doctors are still wondering, oh my God, and probably everything is different. This is a case of fools all cases. No, it's not. It's an easy case to understand. Look at Mom. Look at the glands. Look at the what happens in acids and calcium. And look at the parathyroid here. It's obvious parathyroid issue. Obviously heavy lymphatic duct. So there's the trunk. The gut's got to be cleaned up. The kidneys, get the adrenals going. Move those lymphs. That's key to both Mom and son here. And then you can come back and at the same time get the pituitary up, parathyroid up, start strengthening the skeletal system, connective tissue in him, get that drained, get the hearing back, get his balance back, and everything is good. And these are the cases we face in our lives here. And this is not going to be too bad of a case, in my opinion, from what she's saying here in the improvement short term on the detox of 5 and 6. So this young man has a good chance to have a normal, healthy life and good balance, especially before he has kids, because you have to fix your son, dear, before he starts to have your grandbabies, or you're not going to be real happy with grandbabies. A suggestion would be he not have children until he does fix that up, because his kids are going to be horrible. I mean, you just can't keep doing this down the genetic tree. We have to start adding common sense and practicality and understanding, and so we can, not continue to mutate our children and put these souls in these mutated bodies. This is KAT for Animals 00. Hi, Doc. Hi there, dear one. Thanks for answering my question. But to go a little deeper, can you focus on a bit on types of fruits, like certain types, certain times of day? Best? No. I learned a long time ago banana is a true berry fruit. Should we eat berries more together and melons together? Also, cantaloupe. Is that a healthy fruit? Doesn't it have natural fungus to it? Well, I don't know what to tell you. Everybody wants to know about the shiitake and the reishi and the kombucha. These are funguses. People love to eat fungus. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, you know what. Again, there's the intellectual mind getting trapped in some of these thinking things. And even though it's, you know what, I just follow my intuitiveness. I eat what my body says, ooh, that sounds really good. I want that water. That's what I forgot this morning. I stuck a watermelon in the refrigerator. It was all way too unripe, but the center. So I have a little bit of center I can eat, and then it's, $10. $10 for 2 little meals. Amazing. And little. So I like to have a bowl of fruit in the morning, but mostly I do a mono morning. But I would love a bowl of bananas, and with my bananas, I love to put raisins. I love to put grapes, before they're a raisin. I like mangoes. I love mangoes and bananas together. But I love strawberries and bananas together too. But strawberries are a little acidic for me, a little twang to them. I love blueberries as well, so I like a dish of that. I rarely get a dish of that because I'm up, I'm walking the dog, and then I got to come record, or I got to do, I've got a lot of garden area so it's just, time. I just grab and go, So in that way, I wouldn't get caught up in times and stuff. What I would get caught up in, dear one, is listening intuitively. The females are, of course, more notoriously better at it than men, but we must learn to listen and follow our inner guidance. This is something we've lacked, we've lost as humans. I remember growing up as a kid, I used to pick daisies and just eat the flower. Dandelion flowers, sassafras leaves, stuff like that. Always tasting, it's typical. That's intuitiveness and letting and feeding out of nature. So when you're on a farm, you got all these things that you can play with and eat and stuff. So I would listen more intuitiveness, because I really don't care how people eat their food, except difficult to mix, say, watermelon with your fruits. I always put my melons at a separate meal, even though you could, and I've had cantaloupe and bananas before and didn't feel too much of a fermentation from it. But again, it's easy to understand that the watery fruits are going to go down real quick. Bananas are going to take a little longer to digest, but nothing like moving all these fruits and berries and melons and putting them with vegetables. That is a huge no-no. Your quicker digesting foods obviously are going to go down first. That's important. Or you're going to hang them up and ferment them. So really, I think intuitiveness is more what I do myself. If you want to find some regimen where someone thinks you should have your berries before your fruit and this and that, you can go right ahead. I don't listen to that at all. When my body wants something, I know right what I want to eat. Blueberries, too, that sounds good. Put a little bananas in it. I have a little blueberry and bananas. I don't think, well, is there, that sort of thing. I just don't think that way. That's Dan the man. Oh, this is Babe and Earl. Thanks, Doc, for the little shout out. Today is April 9th. That was yesterday. Day 200. Get this. Day 243 of juice fasting. 8 months. Babe and Earl, rock it. My God. 243 days. Where's the Guinness World Book of Records? Where is those people? We got to get a hold of them. This is pretty good. Which is 8 months on a juice fast. Is this kicking? Can I use the word ASS? Holy moly. Still no plans on stopping until all the orange sulfur is out of my eyes. Have the rest of my life to eat. Boy, with an attitude like that, there's nothing this lady cannot conquer. Nothing. When you've got an attitude like that, and that's how you need to take off in this health field. Understand the laws, okay, it's all simple, it's all obvious, factual,